For the least of these is me, by Amanda Pizzolatto. The leaves were falling all around, carpeting the sidewalks and streets in reds and oranges that crunched beneath wheels and feet. Cars and people were going back and forth, all in a rush to get somewhere and lost in their thoughts. Martin pulled his coat tighter as he walked briskly through the chilling wind and around people. His breath came out in short white wisps as he breathed into his hands before rubbing them together. He glanced up, looking for his destination. He smiled when he saw it. The berries and cream shop was beckoning to him, knowing he needed just those few minutes of peace away from work. The bell rang over his head as he walked in. The barista waved to him as he approached the front. "The usual, Mr. Travers?" Martin smiled. "Yes, please, Roman. Thanks." Roman gave him a salute. "Aye, aye, sir." Martin chuckled. Roman wasn't a soldier, but he couldn't help but salute Martin every time he came once he found out Martin was a sergeant. Martin tried to put a stop to it at first, but after a while it became endearing. Roman placed a large latte with whipped cream on the counter. "Here you go, Mr. Travers." Martin quickly paid him and gave his usual tip. "Thanks, Roman." Roman saluted. "No problem." Martin went to a table in the corner and sat down, his back to the wall. He placed the cup down and reached into his jacket, pulling out a comic titled Cloak and Dagger, one of the few things he enjoyed reading these days. He sat there for several minutes, reading the comic and enjoying his latte. When he was finished with both, he tossed the cup in the trash can and told Roman goodbye. No sooner than he stepped out the door than he was wishing he was back in the store again. The temperature had dropped a few degrees. It smelled like snow was in the air, crisp and cold. Martin shivered and pulled his scarf tighter around his mouth. He walked away from the store, but paused only a few feet away from it. There, sitting in the corner between the shops, was a middle-aged man, thin, frail, and shivering. A can with a tiny fire put up a steady stream of smoke, but it didn't look like it gave off enough warmth. Martin and the man's eyes locked. The pleading was strong in those shallow eyes. Martin's heart ached for the man and ached for himself. He had no cash to give. His fingers pulled at his scarf to wrap it tighter, and paused. Perhaps he did have something he'd give the man, just to help fight off the cold. He had another at home. Martin peeled off his scarf and his coat and gave them to the man. "Here," he said. "I think you need this more than I." Are you sure?" asked the man. Martin nodded. Tears welled up in the man's eyes. Why, thank you, sir. You're too kind. I wish I could do more or give you more." The man shook his head. "You have given me more than I ever dreamed possible. No matter where I sit, most just walk by and ignore me. You saw that I was in need and at least gave me something." Martin gave him a sad smile. "Yes, and again, I wish I could give you more, but unfortunately, I live on base. Otherwise, I would offer you a roof as well. You have given me what you could, more than most, and I am very grateful. May God bless you." Martin smiled. "Thank you, and may God bless you as well." He patted the man's shoulder and took a step towards the base, and paused again. Maybe there was still more he could do. He turned back to the man. "Hang on a sec." He dashed back into berries and cream and ordered a large hot chocolate and a croissant sandwich. The man's eyes grew wide when Martin handed him the sandwich and the hot chocolate. "Thank you. This is great." Martin beamed. "You're welcome. Now, if you excuse me, I need to go." Yes, of course. Again, many thanks. And may God bless you." Martin just chuckled and waved as he dashed away. Yes, the temperature had dropped, but in a way he felt warmer than he had the whole day. He even began to hum. It did feel good helping another person. He wondered if the man would be there again tomorrow. Perhaps he could sit and chat with him a while instead of reading his comic. Martin got back on the base and went straight to work. "Martin, where's your coat?" asked George Lyon, Martin's closest friend of the base. "It's practically freezing out there." Martin just smiled. "I gave it to someone who needed it more than I do." George raised an eyebrow. "Really? Who?" Martin Martin shrugged. "A homeless guy sitting near the coffee shop. I kinda hope he'll be back tomorrow. I want to get to know him, see what other ways I can help." George patted his back. "Good luck with that. Or did you forget the king is coming tomorrow?" Martin's eyes widened as he let out a gasp. "Oh, shoot, I did. Well, maybe the day after that, then. Man, I wish I had some cash to give to him so he wouldn't go hungry tomorrow. Maybe someone else will notice him and make sure he gets food. Right now, we have a king to prepare for." All the rest of that day and the majority of the next morning was taken up in the preparations for the king. Martin had never seen the base so clean in a while, but he only got a few minutes to enjoy it as the gates opened and the parade of cars came through, the king in the limousine. The troops gathered in the auditorium, everyone eager and nervous to see the king. The lights went on, and a man with dirty, tattered clothes sat on the stage. Murmurs rumbled gently through the crowd as they wondered who this man was. It took Martin a moment, but he stood up, recognition on his face. "It's you!" The man smiled as he rose. "Ah, there you are. I wanted to return your coat, and to thank you for the food and drink. It was good. Will you please come to the stage?" Martin walked to the stage, dazed. What was the homeless man doing here? George gasped. "That's the king!" Martin's hand was on his coat when he paused. He looked closer. George was right. It was the king. Martin knelt. Your Majesty, I didn't even recognize you." The king chuckled. "That was the point. I knew my troops were good at fighting, but I wanted to see how kind they were. You were one of the few who showed me that kindness." The king took out a list and called names. The men who were called went immediately to the stage after hearing their names. "These are the men I will have as my personal guard." The murmurs went around the auditorium again. The highest honor, to be one of the king's personal guards. "I expect the rest of you will work on your kindness towards others before my next visit. Thank you all for coming. Good day." George clapped Martin on the back. "Looks like you didn't have to worry about him getting food today after all." "Yeah, but what I want to know is, what did you do to become a personal guard?" George shot him a sheepish grin. "Let's just say I defeated a dragon." "Huh?" George chuckled nervously. "I'll tell you later. Come on, we have a new job to do." "Amen, I say to you, as long as you did it to one of these my least brethren, you did it to me." Matthew 25:40.